Hello and welcome to episode 2 of season 1 of my Factorio 1.1 tutorial series, and thank you for joining me again. In this beginner tutorial, I'm going to show you a few simple tricks to help jumpstart you in the early burner stages of the game when you first start a brand new playthrough here. And there's going to be two main ones and then a bit of a bonus extra one, I suppose you could say. The first one is in regards to mining fuel. Coal's a very important thing that you're going to need, of course, throughout the game, but you're going to need a lot of it early game because you are, of course, using it to fuel all of your miners and furnaces, etc. Now, instead of mining into boxes and having all these boxes placed and stuff, which does work perfectly fine, I like to use a trick shown here where we're actually utilizing miners as boxes and they're also fueling themselves. The issue with having miners just mine into boxes is then the burner miners themselves are going to run out of fuel because they will not fuel themselves. However, in this setup, they are actually fueling each other. So if we jumpstart this with a wood, you'll notice that these outputs are facing each other. So this is going to dump its fuel that's mined, its coal, over to here, which goes into this miner, which it takes as fuel and then starts itself and then dumps its coal that it mined into this one, back and forth, and creates a loop. And these are also holding the excess fuel because, of course, it is mining fuel faster than it's consuming it. And if you remember from episode 1 where we had our important hotkeys to know for beginners, if you hold Control left click and drag over these, you can actually just pull out all of the resources if you'd like. And I will actually do a quick dump here of all of our coal that we've collected. That wasn't just from that, of course, didn't mine that quick. But you can just Control left click over this and grab everything in here. If you'd like an expanded, bigger version of this, which I usually do, you can do this actually as big as you'd like on the coal patch. Here's an example of 4 of them, slightly different arrangement, just in a circle here since they do all have to mine, kind of through each other again into a loop. But the same exact concept would apply. This one mines into this one, which goes into this one, which goes into here, and then back and forth all the way through. And again, you could just expand upon this if we want, say, 8 of them. We would just have to face these, all into each other. You could have Shift R to reverse rotate there as well. And these will slowly fuel each other, and you would have even more production. And you could expand this as far as you'd like on the patch. The next thing I would like to show you is similar to this, but with actually creating items. Now, this one does require electricity because it requires an assembler, of course. It does not have to be an electric mining drill, though. You could use a burner one, but I figured since we have electricity anyway, we might as well use an electric drill. So once you get electricity and assembling machines unlocked, this is a nice way to just build up a stockpile of stone furnaces. And it's utilizing the same concept, where this miner is mining this stone. Instead of putting it in a box or a belt or something, it is just mining it directly into this assembling machine. And since stone furnaces only require stone and no further process to actually make the stone furnaces, it's taking the stone that's being mined and just directly creating the furnaces and then storing them in its internal inventory here. And then you could again Control left click and click on it and just grab all of them that are in there. If you'd like to store more, you could, of course, use an inserter and put it in a box and store as many as you'd like. And this is just a really nice way to build up stockpile. You can, of course, handcraft them as well, or instead, but this is just a nice passive way to begin your automation in the game. And the last one, which is a bit of a culmination of all this, and just a bit of a bonus, is mining resources just directly into the furnaces, which we are doing in a way here. I'm showing you this with iron. It does, of course, work with copper or stone if you want stone brick. But instead of these two examples here, where it's a little more convoluted, a little more resources to do so, where we're mining into a box and then inserting it into a furnace, or mining onto a belt and then inserting it to a furnace, we can actually, again, use the same concept and just mine this ore directly into the furnace. And it will just start smelting directly from the ore it's putting in here. As you can see, it's just spitting the ore into here, and then it will start mining. Now, of course, this is out of fuel, but there we go. And then you can walk by, again, Control left click, and just collect everything that's in here, 2 in that case, and you could just create a line of these. Now, the furnace, or the miners, will, of course, run out of fuel, as well as the furnaces, but you can just take all your fuel from these, and then Control left click with this in your hand and put it in here, and it'll go ahead and go in there, and then you could just run by and fuel all those. If you wanted, in a case like this where we actually have coal next to the iron, you could technically do this concept and have these go directly into here and fuel these. That's a bit much in my opinion. You can easily just grab from here and then just control left click over everything and dump the fuel in. But it's just a nice thing I like to do. It's a lot more compact, cheaper than this stuff shown here. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed and found it helpful. If you have any more questions or thoughts, do leave them down below, as always. And if you have any other tips to add, that are similar to this in the very early stage of the game, definitely leave them down there as well for people to see. I may pick one out and pin it if it's a particularly good one. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy and found it helpful, a like is much appreciated, as it helps other people find the video as well. And if you're new to the channel or not subscribed, feel free to subscribe and turn on the notifications with the little bell there to get notified of all new videos I post, both in this series and my other ongoing series. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.